And yourself?
Great, thank you. I was just, I took a little longer because I was just configuring my microphone and my camera. Okay. Can you hear me well enough?
I can hear you quite clearly. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So, where are you?
I'm based in São Paulo, Brazil. Have you been
Okay.
here?
No, I haven't. My son spent 12 months in Brazil, in Sao Paulo.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
nice place.
Yeah, he enjoyed it, but he hasn't been back there yet, so I don't know what's going on. So, what do you
Yeah,
do?
yeah. So I work with IT. I've completed my associate's degree in systems development, and I worked as an Oracle EPM consultant. That is a more focused for enterprise solutions. I've worked for almost a year and a half, and then I had experience working abroad for a company in Toronto, working with projects using AI, different types of technology, and was a nice experience because I had the chance to practice more my English, So I feel that during this experience, my English just leaped a lot. And I've been 3 months there working abroad, and then I'm working with another consultancy company here in São Paulo. So that's basically all of those experience on IT.
So, working abroad, what countries?
The company that was the franchisor, that is called Clear Summit Group, was based in Toronto, but we had services for many countries over the world. We had projects for the UK, many states in UK like Newcastle, Manchester, um, different types of regions in UK. We also had projects on Latin America, here in Colombia, Argentina, Chile. So there was a lot of projects, but most of them were all based in UK.
Mm,
So
okay. So, I get the impression you enjoy your job.
yeah, I had a lot of great positive experiences during this time period that I worked abroad, but also many negative experiences. But anyway, I tried to get the best out of it.
Well, negative experiences are, whilst you don't go looking for them, but they are good
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, sure
You
they are.
learn a lot more from those than what you do from your normal work.
This is true. Yeah, it is true.
So tell
Uh,
me, if you were, imagine going back a few years now. So when you are leaving school, going to go to university, and you're selecting what courses you want to do,
I would
would you?
choose the same option as I did because I remember when I was much younger, I just loved technology, like playing games, just surfing the internet, learning stuff, learning about programming languages. And I knew that I wanted to work with that, but I know that I knew that there was a lot of courses, and just didn't know what subject to follow in my career. Would be like cybersecurity, data, perhaps programming, being a developer, and then I choose a course that here in Brazil it's more of a generalistic course, that
Mhm.
it approaches different types of area inside of IT. And it was a great experience because, first of all, it was free. I was able to pass in a public college that is very nice in some terms, and others are not. But it's okay, and it was very nice. And then in the last year of college, I've got my first job working in a consulting company. It was a very nice experience because in companies that are all based in consultancy, that means that are based on projects, giving
Yeah,
solutions to the clients. People are very friendly. They work very openly. They are
yeah,
very work as a team. It's a very it's very nice companies to work for. And then I was getting bored because I felt like I stopped learning, and I did not want that. I wanted to always keep learning new stuff, keeping meeting new people, different things. And then I've got this opportunity to work abroad, and my English was at a very good level already, and I didn't thought twice, I just went, and it was nice, I think I wouldn't change my mind at the time.
Oh, good. So, what do you what are you worried about for your English? What do you think that you need more of?
No, yeah, I think so. Just to you understand my main objective here on Cambly and what I've been doing. I've been taking the English classes for about a year and a half, I would say. At first, my English was at a good level already. I could comprehend very well. I could speak at an intermediate level, but not as with the fluency and as I have now. And then I've been taking like regular classes with just one teacher, and with aligned with this experience working abroad that I had, my English just lived a lot, it, improved a lot in the
Yeah,
sense from comprehending different types of accents, um, speaking of more subjects, different subjects that I'm not used to. And as I have the plan already paid on, I've just been taking different classes with the different tutors that just to get to know more about each other, gain more experience, gain more knowledge,
yeah.
and just have fun with those classes.
Hmm. Okay. Because your English is good. You're not looking for words. You, you know exactly what you want to say, and you're able to say it. So that's really good, and
That's a
it's
good thing.
and it's
Thank
clear.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I I'm today I'm talking to you from Mexico, and in Mexico,
Wow.
yeah, in Mexico I teach at the university. I teach English there, and I tell my students
That's
all
a
the
nice
time.
thing.
Yeah. So I tell my students all the time, the best practice is talk, talk, and more talk.
Talk.
The
Yeah,
more you
that's true.
talk, the better.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, what do you like to do when you're not working?
Well, I have a lot of hobbies, so I love like studying. I have a lot of books here. Let me, you see right here, I have a lot of
Yep.
books here that I
Yes.
like to read. Um, Mainly about different types of subjects. I don't like just focusing on only one topic. So these times I've been reading a lot of libertarian subjects, like uh, about Mises, Ludwig von Mises, Rothbard, those type of guys. I like them a lot. Like this book here, Hans Hermann Hope. Have you heard about it?
What is it?
Democracy That Failed.
No, I haven't. No.
It's a very hard book. It is a very complex book. But also I have books about. Let me just. I'm using as a about medicine,
All
about
right.
health and medicine. So I
Well,
read a lot about different topics. I really liked it. And apart from that, I love doing sports, like going for a running with some friends, hitting the gym, doing some boxing, hit someone in
mm.
the face.
take it out on somebody else.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
No,
well,
I'm
that's
just
good.
joking.
And do, does your family live close to where you are?
Yeah, I live with my family right
Oh,
now. I live
okay.
with both my parents and an
Yeah.
older brother. He just got his new apartment, so we've been helping him, just uh,
To
uh,
move.
to move. Yeah, that's
Mm.
right.
Oh,
But that's it. And here in São Paulo, it's a very big city, so we have anything that you wanted to do here, you can do in the
yeah.
weekend. So yeah, it is a very nice place. You said you're based in Mexico. Why did you move on to Mexico?
My wife is Mexican, and My family
That's
is
great.
small. My
That's
family
great.
is small in Australia. She's got a big family.
Oh,
So
you're from Australia. I thought you were an Englishman.
I was born in England, but
Oh,
most of my
yeah.
life has been spent in Australia.
Yeah, that's nice. But
Yes,
where were you born in the
I
UK?
was born in a place called Southport, which is
Oh,
near
Southport.
Blackpool.
Okay.
It's in Lancashire.
Lancashire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow, that's nice. And you moved on for
my,
Australia like for
we.
business,
I was at
work.
school. I stayed in. We stayed in England until I was 17. I went to school in England,
Oh, okay.
and then my father got a job in Australia, so we all moved to Australia,
We're in Australia,
South Australia,
South
near
Australia.
Adelaide.
I don't know it. I have a
Mm.
friend that is based in Brisbane, so that's
Oh
why
yeah,
I
Brisbane.
asked.
Yeah, so he likes. So he's near the Gold Coast. That's the tourist area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's even funny because he says that in Brisbane, the culture is very similar to the Brazilian culture, like in many aspects, like the nightlife, the people are being more receptive, things
Yeah,
like that.
well, it's like a touristy type of place, which is exactly what Brazil is as well.
Yeah,
So, so I think there would be a lot of similarities.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So, but actually, if you move around, like if you go from Brisbane to Darwin, for instance, it's totally different. Darwin, yeah,
Hmm.
very different. And likewise, go to Melbourne, it's different again. You know, the culture
Yeah,
is different. So uh, Australia, I think because Australia, everything is a long way apart. You know, so if you go from Sydney to Melbourne, it's 1,000 kilometres. Uh,
hmm.
Melbourne to Adelaide, 1,000 kilometres. Adelaide
Yeah,
to Perth, 2,000 kilometres. So everything's a long way away. So they develop their own culture, if you like, in that in each state.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. And then you moved on with your family, and yeah, and then you met your wife in Mexico, or you met her there, and
I,
then you moved on to Mexico.
I was actually involved with a group called Rotary International, and I used to look after students coming in and going to Switzerland and Germany. And then I changed. I've been in that for about 15 years, I think. And then I
Wow.
changed to another part where Rotary asks for people to apply to see
Mm-hmm.
young people to see their job being done in another country.
Yeah.
Um, so I got the job to bring a group of people to Mexico for 6 weeks. We toured around and looked at all the different businesses, and it was a great experience.
Yeah,
Um,
I can imagine.
yeah, but like I had a bucket list of countries I wanted to go to. Mexico was nowhere on that list. Uh,
Yeah, I can imagine.
so
Uh, I have a list on my head as well of some countries that I would like to go. Mainly here in Latin America, countries that are much more closer to São Paulo. For example,
yeah,
like in Paraguay, Uruguay. There are places that it's easy to go. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and they have a great quality of life.
mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you need to have a list of places you want to go, and I think you need to travel because you learn so much every country you go to.
Yeah.
Like when I was a mechanical engineer in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was studying, I was working in an office that had 58 different nationalities.
Wow.
That is typical of Australia, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a fantastic education. It was really good working with all those different nationalities.
Yeah.
It makes you look at things a little bit differently, um, and better, more thorough. So
Mm-hmm.
it was brilliant. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, like I when I completed my degree, I stayed for a little while, and then I decided I was going to start my own company. And so that was really good. I did that for 15, 16 years. And somebody came along and said, I want to buy your company. So I said, yes, please.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, but
And
why did you want to sell your company? Because of the money? Because you can stand the
oh no,
pressure
just
anymore?
it's
It
just
was overwhelming.
the next step. You know, I I enjoyed running my company,
Hmm.
but somebody came with money and said, I mean, we work for money, so
Yeah,
money is a good decider. So
yeah,
I
I would
decided,
do
yeah,
the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And what
yeah,
did you do after
I
this?
had to work for them for 2 years, and in that 2 years, I travelled quite a lot with that company. And then a friend of mine said he's starting a new engineering company, so he said, "Come and work with me." So I did,
Yeah,
uh, again for quite a while, uh,
yeah.
and I had a few different things I did, so it was good. Um, got varied experience. It was good. My company, we used to we did general engineering, and but we specialized with hydraulic pneumatic installations, and we got into installing robots and things like that.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That was really good because it wakes you up, just what's available, what's possible. And
Hmm.
so that was really good. And then I got the opportunity to come to Mexico. Then I met my wife, and I um, I went back to Australia, and I then I came back a year after, and um, then I asked her to marry me and took her to Sydney. We got married at the Opera House,
Wow.
and
Nice.
then we came back to Mexico. So it's good.
That's nice.
Go
Yeah,
back, go back to Australia every few years.
yeah. But
So
for example, do you miss more of Australia than you do at your uh, home in UK at Southport?
I I love Australia. Australia, I like the lifestyle in Australia. Um, Mexico is very different. Um, Mexico is very corrupt, and so you have to be careful where you go. Some places we just don't go, so
Yeah, I
so
can
it's so
imagine.
different. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a hurt thing. It's not. I would say that here in Brazil, it's not as bad as in Mexico, but in Rio de Janeiro, it is as bad in Mexico. You know,
yeah,
here in São Paulo is not that bad, but in Rio de Janeiro, I know that the factions control much more, a much larger area than they do in São Paulo. You know, and that is
yeah,
really bad problem there. And I can imagine it's very similar in Mexico, you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, if the police pull you over for anything, the first thing they want is money. So
Yeah,
and that goes all the way through the government. The government is exactly the same.
yeah,
But it's nice. It's nice traveling in Mexico. There's a lot to see. Um, a lot of old stuff. The pyramids and all those sort of things. So um,
yeah. And what
it's
are
good.
the main reasons like you're staying in Mexico? Perhaps because of your wife, your job?
Well, my wife's family is here.
Mm-hmm.
So we do, and she's got a daughter in McAllen, which is just across the river. We live 10 minutes away from the U.S. border, so we spend quite a lot of time in the U.S. and
Mm,
her daughter is there, and her grandchildren. So we spend a lot of time with them.
that's nice.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
that's good. Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to learn Spanish as well, but my Spanish is developing. You know, I would say that it's not as good as my English it is right now, but I know I can learn much more, you know. For example, I've been practicing like reading books, watching TV shows, series, movies, all of them with subtitles in Spanish as well. And even that I don't understand like 50% of it, of some words. I just write it down and then I try to understand after I watch that episode on the, and then I try to search it up on the internet and to understand and make context of that word to get in my head, you know. But the problem is that, like you said, you have to talk, you have to practice with real people,
Yeah.
and I don't have the how to practice. The only way that I've been practicing to talk Spanish, like at least try to, is like with ChatGPT, you know, because you have that function that you can talk with it, you know, and
Yeah.
answer in real time, and it's really useful because it already detects your tone, your emotion, if you're feeling nervous, if you're not feeling nervous. So it is really good, but it's the only way that I'm being able to practice.
That surprises me because Brazil, yeah, your Portuguese is very similar to
It is. It
things.
is.
So I think that would make it more difficult. The fact that it is similar, it's too easy to use words from your language rather than Spanish.
It is. That's one of the problems because you can mix it up a lot. You know, when you think you're speaking Spanish, you're actually not. You know, you're
Yeah.
just speaking a mix of both languages, and we call that the Portuñol. You know, that is the mix of the Portuguese
Ah,
with the
yeah.
Spanish. You know, the
That's like
Spanish is
like
Espanol, so it would be the
that's
mix of
like
both.
Spanglish in Mexico.
Exactly, exactly. That is the thing. And even that I could have an easier time learning the language because it has similarities with the words, and you know you have a lot of words that the the words don't change. It's very similar. Even when it comes to the phonetic, it's similar. You know, you just have to change some aspects of the language. But at the same time it's difficult because, like you said, it's very similar. So when you think you're speaking Spanish, you're not, you know, and you're just being embarrassed.
Where
Yeah,
my mother was from Austria, which is next to
Austria.
Germany. Yeah, and so we used to speak German in the house. And
Wow,
when we went to school, we had to learn English and French. That was
wow.
really good. It was good to know those languages because we traveled quite a lot in Europe.
Hmm.
Um, but then when we came to Australia, never use it. So,
Yeah,
you know, the saying use it or lose it. Well, we've done
yeah,
that.
yeah. Even if you went to Canada, you know, you could use your French. You know, there are some places. I don't know. I don't remember if it's in Quebec that speaks French. I don't know. I don't remember, but
Uh,
you could
uh,
you could use it. You know, would be a
yeah.
nice thing.
Yeah. Well, half of Canada is French speaking. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing that is sometimes annoys me here in Brazil is that people lack the 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 knowledge of different languages. You know, so there's just very few people here that can speak English at a good level, even if on an intermediate level. Spanish as well, the same thing. People don't speak Spanish, and sometimes you just have to go to some neighborhoods that are more um, um, uh, more
Versatile.
no, they have a lot of tourists. You know, they're more of a tourist place for
Yeah.
tourists. You know, they're very famous for that. For example, I've been to Floripa. You know, Floripa in Santa
Yeah.
Catarina is the island, one of the most famous island here in Brazil. And there you had a lot of foreigners from here in Latin America. So you had a lot of Argentinian people, people from Chile, people from Colombia, some people from Uruguay as well. I don't remember seeing so many Paraguay flags on the cars, but I remember there was a lot of Argentinian people there. And I even tried to spoke some Spanish, but it's very difficult. My Spanish wasn't on
Mm.
a good level. I could barely understand them because they speak very fast. The accent it's a little bit different from the um, commonly used Spanish accents. You know, the way they pronounce the double L's,
Yeah,
it's different, you know. So yeah,
yeah. It's it, my students at the university, I tell them now. But see, the city I live in is an industrial city,
yeah.
and so all the factories are from different parts of the world. So I tell my students,
Hmm.
if you don't learn English properly, you don't get a job. It's simple because they need to, they have to speak English for all the different factories. So it's good incentive for them to be able
Yeah,
to speak English. And many of the factories, they won't, if it's the first question they ask, do you speak English?
yeah,
So, uh,
yeah.
um, and I find that it's similar in most places in the world now that people, like in China, they learn English in kindergarten and it's compulsory. You learn it all the way through. Uh, but they're very good with their reading, their writing, but their speaking is bad because the teachers are Chinese. So if you pronounce a word wrong, then you teach the word wrong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it is interesting. It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have some. That's why I was having some regular classes. You know, I was having classes with an Irish guy that also lives here in São Paulo, a city called Indaiatuba, and the classes were mainly to focus on the pronunciation, the talking about different topics that I wasn't used to talking, you know, and
Yeah.
that helped me a lot. Like I said to you, my English just developed very quick. And then when I knew that I reached a very good level of English, and even him told me that I was already on a very good level of English, he told me go take classes with different teachers. You know, now you need to focus on the your fluency, your comprehension of different accents, different people talking. So yeah, and when you have someone that have a really hard accent, it gets in the way. You know, it's like I remember when I was working with Oracle for a consultancy. Uh, we had contact with a lot of Indian people, and their English is just so bad, mate. It's it's terrible. They talk like, "Hello, my friend. How can I help you? What do you learn?"
But then they're not the worst. The worst are the Pakistanis. They are
Yeah,
so difficult to understand.
really difficult. Yeah. And even if when I worked abroad in Canada, there were some folks from other teams that were based in other countries, not here, just in Toronto or in Brazil, because we had some Brazilians as well in the team. And we had guys from China, we had guys from the Middle East, we had guys from Panama. So, and mainly the people from Middle East had a really hard accent, and they were our colleagues, you know. And it was just I didn't know if my English was that bad, you know. I couldn't comprehend them well, or if they were like just uh, speaking very quick and wrong, you know. It's funny.
Yeah, the Arabic people really roll their R's. Like
Yeah,
as an
it's really
Australian,
good.
I have trouble pronouncing using R. I can't like in Spanish. I can't roll my R like they do here because we've never used it much, and so now, yeah, I have difficult with the R. But the Arabs, whoa, they really use the R to its most, the most they can get from it. It's good. It's good
Yeah,
listening. In my university, we the idea is that we have different nationalities teachers because, as you say, the accent is different. Everything is different. The way they pronounce the words, the way they use the words. So it's good practice for the students.
it is. It is. It is a good practice. I know that my comprehension of different accents improve a lot because of that. Because you just put on you are just put on the fire and you have to get yourself out of this, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I learned that way, you know. Some people can learn that way, and it's normal because it's just pure pressure, you know. I knew that for some projects, I was having a hard time, you know, and I was I was talking to my manager. He's an Ecuadorian guy that lives in Toronto. He's called Javier, you know, and I was reaching him and saying, Javier, I don't understand what he's saying. I can understand what he's saying. What the hell did you just say? And he goes like, okay, it's normal. I didn't understand like 50% of it. I'll explain to you what I've understood of it. You know, that was a nice thing. The only thing that I've got out of this company was because I learned that after, you know, some time, that I didn't have the knowledge about it, that they have the revolving door policy,
Oh,
you
okay,
know.
yeah.
So they hired me and another girl that lives also here in São Paulo, but is from the countryside, you know, a city called Pinheiro. And we were helping a lot each other, you know, talking about how people were treating us, if they were being very hard on us, if they were treating us fair, about our projects as well, if we were with a lot of responsibilities or not. And we were helping each other, you know. And after before like I would say a week or two before we were fired, I was talking to her, that was like feeling the how could you say, like when the environment is a little bit heavy, you know, and you don't feel great. Like people treat you differently. They treat you like how would you say, like
Like you've got the plague.
yeah, yeah, that's right. With in the interference, I would say. I don't know if that word's correct. But it was different, you know. You could say that was different. And then after some time, they fired both of us. Uh, I talked to her. They just said the same thing, that we I was said that I delivered the results normally, but it wasn't sufficient to get a to be would not be promoted, but would be hired defendant.
To be a permanent
Yeah,
employee.
that's right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. So I said, okay. I knew that it was a 3 month contract, so it would be like do or die, be fired or be hired, and I don't know. But I noticed that for people that were working for a longer time in the company, they did not like enter in a very internship or a junior level. They already enter like mid-level above. You know, they had other experience, and then they enter and stay there for a long time. So there was no one that entered at a very junior level and then climbed up the steps, you know, the ladder, you
Uh,
know.
you know,
And I
in,
noticed that.
in Australia, they place a lot of value on people staying. Um, like because obviously every time you employ somebody, it costs you money because
Sure, sure it
you've got to
does.
teach them how your company runs. You've got to do all those things. So in because of that, Australia has a policy where if you work for a company for 10 years, you get 14 weeks paid leave.
14 weeks.
14, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
So it's good incentive. Um, so 14 weeks paid leave plus each year we get 4 weeks annual leave. So it's good incentive. Um,
It is good incentive.
yeah.
It's nice.
So because it costs a lot of money to hire a new person. So
Yeah, that is true. For example, here in Brazil, we have the original way of hiring someone that is based on the worker rights. You know, you have all the worker rights. You have the 13th salary of the year. You have the rights of, if the person gets fired, they will receive a compensation for that.
yeah,
They will receive the vacation every year, all of that rights, the normal
Yeah.
rights that someone
That
would
you
get. And
expect.
we have the other type of hiring someone that is purely like with no rights, but there's this thing here in Brazil. We call it PJ. It would be PJ. It would be like a juridic person, because this person have no rights. But for the company, they don't have to pay the same amount of the salary to the government. So they use that, even paying some of the rights, like the benefits, like the benefit of that. Uh,
Sick,
uh,
sickness and things like that.
yeah, they pay the same way as they would do, but the contract is made up to so they cannot say so they don't pay a lot of money to the government, and that
Mm.
is very common here in Brazil.
Oh,
The only problem is that you don't have any assurance that if you get fired, you will receive some
yeah.
compensation for that. But it is very normal. I work this way. I am working that way because the companies don't want to pay more money to the government.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just hard to find someone that really wants to pay you and have the assurance that if you get fired or something like that, you will receive the compensation for that.
So is
So
job
yeah,
continuity um, like that all over Brazil?
sorry, I did not understand that.
Is the continuity of employment? Uh, do the companies tend to um, dispose of people readily?
Depends. It really depends on the culture of the company. I can't say that companies tend to like hold their employees for longer because they want their job. They want their work being done. But there are other companies that I know of uh, stories from other friends that they just like have the same revolving door policy. They stay like 6 months, 1 year, then they change for another person and does the
Wow.
same work, just to bring new ideas. But I would say that 60% of the companies want to hold them longer.
Yeah.
But there's a cultural problem as well that even if you're working for a longer period of time, like 1 year, 2 years, they tend to not compensate you for that. So even if you're like after 1 year in the company, you pass 1 year, and then normally you would receive um, uh, would start to receive a higher salary because of the inflation. That is normal.
Uh-huh.
That would be that would be necessary, but some companies just tend to forget, of that. Or for perhaps you're working very nice, you're delivering the projects, delivering the results, and you deserve a promotion, and the companies tend to hold this promotion for longer,
Mm.
because perhaps they don't want to pay you more, they want to change you. There's a lot of reasons, but in general, the companies tend to hold you longer. They want you to be more time in the company. They just don't want to hire a new person every time, because like you said, it costs money.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I think the what would I call this? The managerial schools, the education of managers is
Yeah,
sadly lacking, regardless of where, you know,
yeah,
because they're taught we all work for money. It's the only reason really that you work.
yeah,
Um, but these people they don't think that anybody else needs it, so they try to screw you more and more and more,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that does a lot of damage, I reckon, because the people don't want to work for you. They go to work because they're going to get paid on Friday, but they won't put in the extra. They won't take care the same as if they were paid well.
yeah.
You know, I when I had my company, we
Mm,
did a lot of work with American companies and Dutch companies. And it was really good because the way that they work is so different, especially the Dutch companies. They were
Really,
brilliant.
in what sense?
The way they pay, you know,
Hmm.
they ask for a quote to do a job, and they accept the price they accept, and there's no haggling. That's what you quote, that's what we'll give you, no
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, it makes sense because I was receiving some proposals of new jobs, and people tend to like negotiate the salary, because uh, it is really strange, because I had a minimum price of the expected salary that I wanted, and in my head that I thought that I deserve based
Yeah,
on my skills, and people still wanted to negotiate that, and
yeah,
it is strange because it sends a little message subconsciously that you probably would deserve less. We want to pay you less. We don't want to pay you like that. It is funny.
yeah. um, and all that does is it undermines it right from the start, because
Yeah, yeah,
already
exactly.
yeah, it's
So
uh,
it's complicated. But yeah, I think the way it's like, for example, at this new job that I'm working on. This was like my first week. It is a company that has a lot of contracts with public services in Brazil. They work as with softwares of geoprocessing,
oh yeah,
of creating maps, creating analysis of municipalities that are much uh, smaller, that are very small, and they need the service of identifying the maps and analyzing each street, each home, to be divided correctly,
yeah,
So they have these contracts, real big contracts. I searched and can reach up to 2 million, 3 million reais, That would be, I would say, $1 million, perhaps,
yeah,
but the way they work is very slow. It's that way. Oh no, we have to do that. No, just leave it to tomorrow. Leave it to next week. Let's keep pushing because the client still, even if we do it right now, the client won't even notice. So let's just keep pushing. And that
yeah.
is something. And that is a culture that really annoys me because I cannot work this way. That way. I want to solve things, live with the result and be okay with that. That's the
Mm,
way I always work and I always deliver. So yeah, I think the way is just keep pushing like them and receiving my salary.
yeah, yeah. And you're certainly never going to stay there long when they start to screw you right from the start.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah,
yeah, I would say that the plan is just to have some time there, gather the experience, gather the knowledge that I can from them, learn
yeah,
what I have, what I can, what I will probably use to other works for my life, whatever. And after some time, change it.
yeah. Experience is very valuable, um,
Sure, it is.
wherever you go. Yeah. Well, and so where do you think you'll go? Like, what type? You'll stay doing the type of work that you're doing now
Hmm.
in another company eventually.
What do you mean?
If you when you've had enough of this company,
Hmm.
uh, will you look for work within Brazil, or will you look for work?
Both. Both. I would say both because I've worked abroad. Is not the best culture. It is not a work that you want to be working for a long time, because it is really stressful. That is something important point that I forgot to tell you. This time that I've worked abroad was really stressful because I was working like there was some weeks that I was working at least till midnight every day. So
Oof,
I was just having lunch, having dinner, and then working all day long. So it was really stressful. I was having bad sleep. I cannot maintain my routine of reading, practicing sports. I didn't have the work-life balance, you know. You know, it was really stressful. I've managed to gather my money, live there, and get the experience. Okay,
Mm.
but it was very stressful. It's not something that you want to prolong, you know, in the long term. So it's not sustainable, you know, for
Yeah.
anyone.
Well, that's really
So
project work. That sums project work up, doesn't it?
yeah, it is. So if I had other experience working abroad, I would do it normally. Perhaps the culture could be better, much better, you know, have a better culture, a better job, better projects, whatever. But I would say that for now, I just want to gather the experience, you know, learn more. I know that I have to learn much more when it comes to IT development for many areas. And I would say that if I leave this company I am right now, after some time of gathering all of that, like I said, I would just want to always, I would just try to focus mainly on the culture to know if the company is a great fit, it is a sustainable place to work in the long term, because changing jobs every time is not good as well.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh, and also focus on the salary as well, because you cannot say that you don't work for money, because you do.
Yeah.
Everyone does,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What happens if you don't have work in Brazil? Does the government help you to exist?
Yeah, they do, but there would be benefits for the very poor part of the population. You know, if you're in the extreme poorness, and it is, I I disagree a lot with that, because here in Brazil we have this culture of the people that are poor. If they work, they do not receive these benefits anymore. Even we have the benefit of the minimum salary. You know, that would be. Um, 1,500 reais.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that would be, I don't know, 300, $400
Oof.
American dollars. You know, that's far too little. That's like
Mm.
bizarre. Okay, and people cannot work because they would lost this benefit, and they tend to focus on the gray market. You know, doing jobs that are not registered. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that is something that really messes with the economy, because there are more people that are actively working and paying taxes. There are less people paying taxes and actively working than people receiving benefits.
Yeah. In
It
Australia,
doesn't make sense. Sometimes it would break the economy,
yeah.
sometime or other. It doesn't make sense, because there's not enough people ready to pay taxes and pay to the government to pay this all those people that don't work. You know, it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
In Australia, if you don't have work, then the government will support you. And the problem is that there's a lot of people, they don't want work. You know, I remember calling for some job, getting people to
Hmm.
come for interviews, and some of them would come in and they'd look around and just weren't interested. They only came because they had to register with the government that they came for an interview,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they don't want to work because they can get paid. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's that's
That's the
really
same thing.
frustrating.
That's the same scenario. It's really sad. I feel really sad, because I was born here. It could be a great country. You know, you have a lot of different countries. Each state looks like a different country. You know, here in
Yeah,
Brazil, because of the culture, because of the people. But Brazil is a huge country. It's a country with continental proportions. You know, and the government, of course, is extreme left wing, and just it's not sustainable. Sometime
yeah,
the country will break. People will will don't have won't have food, you know, to eat. Won't have salaries. Won't have job, because of this politics. You know, it doesn't work in the long term,
yeah,
because, like I said, there are more people receiving, I would say, like 70, 80 million people receiving benefits. That
oof,
includes the
Oh,
people that are poor, that don't work and have benefits, the people that are retired, including the politics that receive the compensation for being retired, and the politics that receive the salary from the government. All that includes right here. And the
oh,
main part is the people that don't work and receive the benefits. So that would include the minimum salary, okay, that is 300, 400 reais, dollars, sorry, American dollars, and even other benefits like receiving gas, free of charge gas for cooking, free school for your kids. What else? There's another programs also for moms that do not have their husband, that are how would you say, like they have
single
kids but
mothers,
single
single
mothers.
mothers.
That's right. They are single mothers. So that basically incentives the people to be poor to receive
Yeah,
benefits. That's the thing, and it's bizarre because you have if I get on social media here, like on Twitter, X, Instagram, there are people like they will receive those benefits on some banks, and they just withdraw their money, the real cash in species,
yeah,
and they like just celebrate receiving, like dancing and post on social media, like receiving the benefits as it would be a great thing to be poor and receive those benefits. It's
yeah, yeah,
and I don't understand, and I get really sad because I am young and I will go through a phase that the country will break. I know this,
yeah.
and people will suffer a lot because of that.
The
And
trouble
I
is that there's many governments are doing exactly the same thing. They pay the politicians get paid very high, and they're telling the people you don't need a high wage.
Yeah,
So
as anywhere in the world,
yeah,
I- I- and here in Brazil, the politics, we call them deputados. I don't know the translation for that, but let's just call them the politicians. They receive like an unbelievable salary here in Brazil
yeah,
compared to the minimum salary and the average wage for normal workers. And they even have a lot of benefits that would be like, how can I say that? It would be like you have a benefit for each aspect of your work. So you have a benefit to buy your suit. Yeah.
yeah,
You have a benefit for traveling, for to buy your gas for your car.
yeah,
You have a benefit for cutting your hair. You have all of that for the politicians. It is
yeah,
true. If you search, you will find it here in Brazil. They have
yeah.
every type of benefit, and it's just,
It's
and
the
people
same.
don't see it. People don't see it.
It's the same in Australia and in Mexico. You know, the
Yeah,
certainly in Mexico the politicians are the most corrupt. But in Australia, all the politicians own several houses in Canberra, which is the capital,
yeah,
and then they go home to their other home, and they rent out those things. But they then, if somebody else does that, they then tax them and do all these things extra to cost more. It, but their money doesn't come into it.
yeah.
It's sad because
It is sad. Have you
how
seen
can
it,
you?
what happened in Nepal?
Yeah, 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 and that's what's when you look around many countries now. That's the way it's going to go, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So, for example, that all a rebellion was caused just by censorship of the social media. Here in Brazil, they made the same thing. No one gave didn't give a shit. Everyone just would just passively accept it, because the government already passed a lot of projects of censorship, so from social media, on periods of electoral elections, sorry, of uh, election years. Okay,
Yeah,
so if you post certain things, you could go to jail, you know, and even some people receive like went to prison because of things like posting things on social media, just saying about the government and stuff. When people that are criminals, pedophiles, receive a much less sentence.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Um, and
So
when I
you
look,
can,
sorry,
yeah,
go on.
you can see that is like highly, you have a bias, a very uh, bias when it comes to the sentencing of people and what should be right and wrong, you know.
Yeah. Um, Being in Mexico, I watch US politics. My goodness, they're the best teachers of corruption. They're unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Mr. Trump, well, I uh, I don't know how he's still there, still alive. The, what he's doing there is so wrong. I think. Well, I mean, I think he's done a lot of good things for America,
Mm-hmm.
but the rest of the world is shit on the rest of the world. And yeah, and you know, it seems to have no. What can you say? No, he's got no. Um, I can't think of the word now. He's got no thoughts for other people apart from himself. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It's I always thought that as being a president or a prime minister or whatever, the head of a country, you shouldn't be engaging in business, in your own private business in that time. But Trump does that and he's making millions and millions of dollars all the time.
Billions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That is so very problematic.
yeah. But it just shows everybody else that you can do it. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have internal information, so they can do anything they want. They can
Yeah,
benefit themselves from
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. There's, and in Australia, there's not many politicians that go in there with lots of money, but they come out with a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a guy saying that the same thing. It is funny. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But and people don't see it. People, I believe that no one should idolize any politician at all because I don't trust no politician,
Well, that's right.
no
Yeah.
politician.
Mm.
And people tend to like defend with their lives, you know, politicians, and I think just foolishness.
Yeah. Yeah. It. I don't think I'd ever like to be a politician, and
Mm.
so I wouldn't wish that on my best friend. Um, but and all right, so somebody's got to do it. But I would have thought there should be better controls on politicians. But then who's going to police it? So it's certainly a very difficult area.
Yeah,
Uh, it's going to be interesting to see the world in 10 years.
sure it will.
Going to be very different.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be very interesting. I hope I am probably will be alive, but I think I'll try to say to my kids or grandkids how the world was like 50 years ago. You know, probably would be very different. Technology will advance a
Yeah,
lot. I don't know if it would even be here on Earth. You know.
yeah. Well, the way Russia and China and America are going on, it's quite likely that none of us will be here.
Perhaps not. I don't know, but it is a very interesting topic to debate about. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. Well, I hope all of this is not right, not true. So,
Yeah.
so it's been really nice talking to you, and I wish you good luck with all of your future.
Sure.
And
Thank you, Peter.
your
Thanks a lot.
English,
It was a
your
very
Eng-
fun class.
your English is good.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank
it's your English is confident, and that's the main thing.
Yeah,
So that's good.
sure.
What are you
Thank
going
you a
to do?
lot, Peter.
My pleasure. It's been really good talking to you.
See you
What are
too.
you going to do for the weekend?
Rest. See ya, Peter. Thank you.
Okay,
Have a nice
bye.
one.
And you too.